Hey everybody, how's it going? Yes, it's another talking video because things are going on in the world of guitar and metal and YouTube and guitar gear and retail and all that kind of thing. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. There's been a lot of YouTube channels quitting, winding down, feeling the burnout, whatever that means. And yeah, it's kind of sad. In a few ways, I understand it. I totally understand it and I'm totally with them. And then on the selfish side, I'm like, well, like, keep going. You know, I really like your channel. Like, why are you quitting? Why are you winding down? Why are you not having as much fun as you used to have? Like, come on, get it together. We really like your stuff, which is ridiculous. Like, people should be happy in what they're doing. Because YouTube is a lot of work. It's a lot of work at any level. If you've got 10 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, which is nearly what I'm at actually. So subscribe. If you got 100k, a million, maybe it gets a lot easier when you're in the top 1%. I mean, the top 1% in our world would be people at, around the 100k mark. The people who really can live off it and it's their full-time job and they don't have, they don't need a side hustle to survive. It's just the YouTube hustle. And this has been happening, a lot recently. So Nick Nocturnal, he's not really a gear guy. He's just, does fun metal things and he just talks about metal and this and that and the other. And yeah, he's kind of a YouTube staple in metal. And yeah, he called it quits because of all the stuff I've been talking about, burnout and all that kind of thing. And yeah, he's just taking time off, and I guess he can afford to do that at his level. And I saw a video just yesterday about Fluff talking about gear burnout, how he stops getting burned out on his channel. I mean, he's an absolute staple in, metal YouTube or gear YouTube. And then you've got like lower level people like High Impact Audio. I saw him put out a video, I think that was yesterday as well, or maybe the day before. And he was talking about how much he puts into the channel as well. And it's very familiar to me. Like, if he's not working or if he's not spending time with the family or friends or whatever, he's spending time on the YouTube channel, which, I could totally relate to that. I probably don't spend as much time as some other people, but I do spend a fair bit of time on this. And he said he got a really bad comment, and that sort of tipped him over the edge. It wasn't just that comment that made him go, "Wow, no, I need to take a break." He just said, yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So, I mean, YouTubers, in the millions of subscribers are feeling the burn, and people lower down are feeling the burn. And you've got musicians just straight up quitting the industry. Jen Majura, I think yesterday as well, just put out something on her Facebook and her social medias just saying, yeah, I'm just quitting music. I'm just quitting the industry. She's not touring. She's not doing anything. And I thought, wow, okay. Yeah, things are really bad. Like, okay, you're just quitting altogether. And I wanted to talk about gear fatigue. I've definitely been feeling it the past couple of years. It was around 2023 where I was just like, yeah, like everything's been done. A lot of YouTubers around that time were saying like, yeah, amp sims, drums, plugins. I mean, bloody just plugins in general. Yeah, we've got everything. We've got everything and more. We don't need anything else. And the whole AI thing is just not interesting to me. People are like, oh, that's where it's going next. And I'm like, oh, I don't care. There's definitely a burnout with that. I see a new plugin, a 5150, whatever it is, Soldano, Mesa Boogie, whatever it is, an IR pack. And it still interests me, but just not as much as it did 4 or 5 years ago, because things were still on the up. When I first started doing this in like weekly in 2019, things were really interesting. You had Neural DSP just like completely like owning the game. And then like ML Sound Lab came out, I think a little bit after that. STL came out and just sort of wiped the floor with people at a similar level to like Neural. IR packs were getting better, and the free stuff was it was like fever pitch, like free amp sim plugins and all that kind of thing. And now you've got like free drum kit plugins that are fantastic as well. I could rail off a bunch of different stuff, but I mean, just look down my channel, like everything that's there, and I don't review anything I don't like. So there's tons of all the stuff I've done, there's tons of videos And there's tons of videos I haven't made because of stuff I didn't like. So, I mean, the choices are just, it really is off the charts. And I can totally feel the fatigue. You know, if you're on the mailing lists for these companies, or if you're on, you know, you just follow gear YouTube, you know, you turn on your homepage on YouTube or whatever on your phone or on your laptop or your tablet or whatever, and, you know, you're just inundated with new gear all the time. You know, sometimes it's daily. So yeah, you can feel the burn. You know, you think, God, just like, really? Do we need all this stuff? But thinking about this, would I want to live in a world where there's no new gear, where there's no new amp sim plugins coming out? No. I still want to try this stuff. It's like, you know, like craft beer drinkers or foodies or people who do wine tasting. It's like, yeah, you've had like 1,000 different glasses of red wine, but they're all slightly different. And, you know, you enjoy the experience of trying new stuff. When a new piece of gear comes out, we've all seen it. You see all the videos. There's tons of marketing for a few weeks or maybe a month or so, something like that. And then people either forget about it or it stays with them. More often than not, I am trying a new piece of gear and then just moving on because I've got the stuff I like. You know, maybe one time out of, say, 20 videos, I'll be like, oh yeah, this piece of gear. Yeah, I'll incorporate this into my mixes, into my rig, you know, for jamming or for making songs. You know, and that does happen occasionally, but most of the time, no, it doesn't. And then some people think like, well, what's the point? You know, what's the point if you're just trying this stuff and then just moving on? It's like, well, you know, it's nice to have a database of this stuff for you guys. Plus, I get a kick out of trying it. And there's the obvious aspect. YouTubers like making videos. Creating videos is great. It's really fun. I love editing. I've been doing it for like 20 plus years, like way before YouTube. And the cool thing is, on YouTube, you can get an audience. I mean, bloody hell, like, if you guys are still here, I really appreciate this. The cool aspect is, you know, it's nice to get attention on your stuff. And then maybe I can sell an EP to you guys. You can check out my IR packs for free. I've got a free plugin, for God's sake, the Shoeless drive, all linked below, by the way. You're cultivating like a community. And that's a really good feeling that I don't think people express in quite the right way. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here, especially this far into the video. There's a few other things I wanted to talk about. I've got notes here. Nasty comments on YouTube. You know, it depends what it is. Like, I got a comment once about a mix. This was on the Absolute Carnage playthrough. And like multiple people were saying like, dude, this sounds terrible. Like, where's the bass? Can't hear the bass. Where's the bass guitar? I was like, it sounds like Injustice for All. And I'm like, get out of here. Don't be stupid. There's bass. And then I had like a proper like conversation. It really annoyed me because I'm like, I spend a lot of time tracking bass. I really like the bass tones. And I'm like, there is bass. There's loads of bass guitar. Go to this point in the song, you can hear it like really clearly. I had people backing me up. I appreciate that. But yeah, that really annoyed me. When people are objectively wrong, I'll call it out. If they go, yeah, I just don't like this. This kind of sucks. I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever. If you don't like it, you know, you don't have to like it. I don't care. And then you got people who are just nasty. Like, I don't know. I don't get this much, but like, you know, they call you like fat and ugly or talentless or something like that. Just ignore that shit. Like, you know, like if you take note of that stuff, you probably think you are fat and ugly and talentless. You know, you should probably do something about that. What else did I want to talk about? Guitar shops closing, like Bax Music, which I don't know if they were a UK retailer, but they were definitely prevalent in the UK. They closed this year. PMT. I don't know what happened yesterday. It's just a lot of bad mojo going on. But PMT yesterday, or at least this week, like they've gone into administration. You know, they're a big retailer. I've bought quite a bit of stuff from PMT over the years. Yeah, really sad. I mean, little shops closing. KDH was talking about this. Like little shops closing. Yeah, you kind of understand it. But when the big shops are closing, yeah, that's really a sign of the times. And I don't have to tell you guys, like metal is not mainstream. You know, it's still popular, but it's definitely not mainstream. And like, we're really starting to feel the effects. Last decade, it started like, you know, metal was really out the mainstream, but now we're really feeling the effects. Just a lot of people are just not choosing to pick up guitars, man. They're just not, which is a real shame. I don't think we can really come back from that unless we have just a really, really big guitar icon again. And then I've been getting comments about, you know, really nice comments about how you know, I can do different mixes in different styles. But that's just because I like all different types of stuff. You know, I love stuff from the 80s. I can mimic that kind of style and that vibe pretty well. 90s death metal, like 90s and noughties new metal. I can kind of like parrot that stuff too. You know, I love all that kind of stuff. There's some guys who just do one type of mix, one type of vibe, and they do that really well, and that's cool. You know, if you're like a Periphery clone or an Animals as Leaders clone, those guys, yeah, they're cool. You just do that, but you ask them to do some sort of like thrash metal tune from the 80s and make it sound like that, they probably couldn't do it. Whereas like I pride myself on being a little bit of a jack of all trades. I'm not saying I'm great, but I definitely get a kick out of doing it. You know what I mean? And mimicking, you know, other bands' sounds. Like I did the Children of Bodom thing, the Behemoth thing, a little bit of a Slipknot thing. Yeah, it's really fun. Did a Cannibal Corpse thing long time ago, 2019 or 2020 I did that. Yeah, that was really fun. And one last thing, a little bit off topic, well, not really. When you're tracking, don't track to just a click. Track to drums that you've laid out. Like, because the feel will be different when you're tracking guitar to just a click or like an actual drum beat. So, you know, just a little bit of advice to end on there. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me rant. I've got no proper solutions for these people that are burned out or tired of gear, tired of YouTube, tired of metal, not getting anywhere. I've got no solutions for that. But always find that seed of inspiration, plant it in the figurative ground and let it grow into this massive tree of joy and music. What the hell am I talking about? Just find that youthful enthusiasm for this stuff and, you know, don't look back. Okay, guys, loads of links below. Thanks for sticking around. Ciao.